Okay. Hello everyone, I am Bogdan. I help people upgrade their cars, and from time to time I also need to help them jumpstart their cars. Although I have some fancy battery support units, battery chargers, you will notice that these types of devices don't really enjoy jumpstarting a vehicle, especially when you don't have any voltage or especially when you need a lot of current going to that vehicle. The new device that I'm using for those types of problems is this jump starter. Quite small, quite compact, almost the size of a phone, and something that is really capable. Let's go to a vehicle and see if it is able to start it. Now, starting an engine can be harder or easier depending on how dead your battery is, but we all need to admit that without the battery completely, the process becomes a little bit more complicated and harder to achieve. Let's make it as complicated as possible by disconnecting the battery altogether. Now we bring the toy. The battery is disconnected. We connect this little thing over there. We connect this little thing over here. The battery pack is on. Now, because we don't have any power in the system, we need to press this special button, the boost button. The light is on, and now we have 30 seconds to start the engine. One more time. One more time. Let's move faster. So although the battery charger is really low on power, it was able to start it. It will be a bit more tricky with these small units than with the bigger ones, especially if you do not have them charged already. Yesterday I started this car twice and the other one also, so I properly used it. Let's give it one more go. Now the battery is even more discharged, so really fast. The trick, especially when the unit is discharged, is to be really fast. The second part of our story gets a bit more complicated, technically speaking, because on the Honda Accords the electronics aren't that complicated, aren't that power hungry. We're now going for the 5 Series BMW, which is known to require a lot of power to start up. And we are doing something that I've done a long time ago, which is not always a good idea. We disconnect the battery, and now, on purpose or by mistake, we close the boot. This is one of the lessons that many of you might learn, and it has to do with the fact that on the BMW 5 Series, the rear seats do not fold. Now, because there is no power in the vehicle, there's absolutely no way of opening the boot. The challenge becomes now to give power to the front charging terminals in such a way that the car wakes up and it is allowing us to open the boot. Based on previous testing, a charger like this is not able to supply the correct current. A battery like this, again, is not able to supply the correct current. The only battery that I found to be able to do something on the BMW is this beauty, the old battery of the car. So it will be a proper challenge for the little jump starter to power everything from the jump terminals in the engine bay. Let's bring the little baby. We ensure that the contact is as good as possible. So things can be tricky. Make sure that you have the right contacts. Ensure that the driver door is open. Press on boost for a few seconds. Now the power is on and we are able to have access to the boot. Quite tricky due to the contact or due to some strange things regarding the vehicle, but we were able to open the boot. Next thing that I want to try will be actually starting the vehicle. So again, click on connect. Now I move really fast. I would first put the ignition on to allow the glow plugs to do their magic. Go one more time to this little bit. Boost again. Nah, didn't have enough juice. I will have to redo this test once the battery pack is fully charged. So when I press my boost, I have just enough juice to start the headlights, but after that it fails on us. Because the testing that I've done yesterday was all over the place, I decided to test one more time the charger, especially because yesterday I did not have it properly charged. Starting the Accord 2.2 diesel without a battery connected. Outside temperature for today is 8 degrees Celsius, and we're trying to simulate some conditions that will be relevant for someone that actually needs to jumpstart the vehicle. Previous to this, I've managed to start the Accord and the BMW with the initial charge of this jump starter, but yesterday it was struggling, so we go again and we perform our testing. First we disconnect the battery again. The jump starter itself has been properly charged. Because we don't have any voltage on the system, we will need to press the boost button. First attempt at starting. And the little baby seems to work. One line of charge has disappeared. Although I've noticed that this charge level is quite inaccurate, so if you have it fully charged it shows that, but once you use it a couple of times to start the vehicles, this is not very accurate, and you do not want to start a big engine with just 2 bars of charge on this one. We move on to the next car, which is the BMW 5 Series. As I have mentioned previously, we can use the jump starters for jump starting the vehicle, but also we can use them for other cases of where we need power. In this case, I forgot to charge my GoPro, and I'm using my second unit to give power to this. On the BMW, we have the highest challenge because the vehicle is very power hungry. We redo our testing, disconnect the battery. Now my second attempt, press the boost, press the start button. Whoa, didn't want it. Okay. So at the third attempt, it was able to start the 5 Series with the 3-liter engine without previous warm-up, and is still going. So battery is disconnected in the back. The vehicle is running on that jump starter, and it will be something that is a bit wobbly, so you will not expect it to work from the get-go. GPS connected. But it was able to do it. Temperatures are okay. Now I will try my luck one more time. Boost pressed. We go to the vehicle. And it was able to start it again on the same charge. We have seen that these devices are capable of starting vehicles with or without a battery. We have tested it on the 2.2 diesel Accord, on the 5 Series BMW. But now it is time to take a look at the specs and understand exactly what is powering these devices and maybe understand some of their limitations. This type of quick jumper battery pack has a 3.7 volt battery with 10,000 milliamps, which will equate to 37 watt hour of energy. It is charged via the USB-C port. It will take roughly 3 to 4 hours to do that. You have 2 USB-A charging terminals to charge your devices, and you also get a LED torch with 3 different modes so that you can navigate your way through the engine bay. Quite a useful device. With this specialized jump lead cable, it reaches the charging terminals for a BMW, which are quite wide apart. Useful, but they will have some limitations, especially if you are living in a very cold climate, and especially if you're having a vehicle which is power hungry. Here I have in mind the BMWs, the Land Rover, Range Rover, I have the Mercedes vehicles. For those applications, I would suggest spending a bit more and getting the JS2000 or the JS3000. I'm saying this because if the climate is really cold and if the vehicle requires a lot of power just to power itself up, fuel pumps, ECUs, before actually cranking the engine, this unit loses power really fast. So although you're compromising on the size, those are the units will serve you better if you have in mind just the jump starting capability. As an overall device, this one is a much better proposition because it will allow you to do something quite interesting. It will allow you to have a device that you can carry with you each and every day without thinking of, oh, it is heavy, oh, it is taking up too much space in my backpack and I don't want to carry it with me. It can be very useful for jump starting a motorcycle. If you're going on a trip, it is a nice backup to have, and on smaller engine vehicles it will actually do magic when it comes to jump starting these types of smaller engine vehicles. Now, these are my opinions about these jump starters. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have used some of these devices. TOPDON as a brand is known for diagnostic tools and has a high quality standard. So you should be expecting a device that will last in time and a device that is safe to use, will not blow up. Other content about TOPDON can be seen over here. Their competitor is Launch. Maybe you want to take a look at them. In the meantime, thank you for watching and hopefully I will see you in the next one. I jump start cars every day and it's okay.